Hello. Let me check in with chapters 8 and 9 and a little another Victor interlude for Empire of the Wild, where Joan decides to go and get her man back. Um, she, you know, she, uh, she packs up and she goes and she hasn't unwillingly takes Zeus, her nephew, along with her. This helper young man, to do that. Um, and she kind of she chats with him, and well, we already had the whole thing of like her talking with him outside the tent and him inviting her to the next day, and so that's what she's going to do. And she goes back to the thing, and she kind of there's a Bible in there, and she's just like, oh, fuck this, and she tosses it out. And then she finds the Bible back again in the thing, and it's like, oh shit, how did that happen? Fortunately, the next day she finds out how that happened, or at least that someone was about, because the her vehicle doesn't start, and the CAA guy, who's in sweats and is heavily flirting with her because she's kind of dressed for battle, kind of in a way that's going to remind Victor that he's a man. Um, this guy is kind of creeping on her, but he says like, "Yep, someone cut the wires to your to the battery." It's like, "Can you fix it?" "Nope, but I can be the knight in shining armor and tow you into the thing." And he goes there, and it turns out that not only the wire has been chopped, but that a whole bunch of circuits have been pulled out. Um, Fuses have been pulled out of the thing, and oh boy, it's going to take a day or so before we're going to be able to fix it for you. It's like there's all these people in line, and she's looking around. There's nobody here. So she flirts with the creepy tow truck guy who takes her to the thing, and she says, "Great, thanks. I'm gonna go. Got to meet up with my husband." "Your husband?" It's like, oh man, and so she goes in, and there's all these what seems to be kind of native or Métis people there, um, and Hider Hisson comes in with the blonde, his blonde helper, and all these other shiny, smiling people, and they're handing out flyers, and the flyers are all talking about how, like, we believe that the Bible is the literal word of God, and if you don't do it, it will lead you to heaven, and if you don't, you'll be going to hell, and it's against kind of the worship of animals. And Zeus is like, who the fuck worships animals and stuff like that, and uh, they all take their places, and Victor comes out as Eugene Wolfe, the preacher, and he preaches this whole thing about how the reason why our people, so the Métis, are in such dire straits is because we turned away from the true voice of God, and that you have to come back to it, and you have to come back, and if you do that, we'll be able to reap all the great benefits, and we'll have an empire of the wild, um, which I guess is where that term comes from, which is makes sense now. You think about Empire of the Wild. Actually, I think about having just read The Man from Glengarry, which was all about building an empire, of the Canadian Empire, and I think this is the same bullshit getting peddled. Well, the same thing getting peddled. I mean, unfortunately it was a highly effective empire that colonized Canada, and this seems to be a part of it. And he's kind of like he's Victor, as Eugene, is kind of weaving the spell over the people, and Joan stands up and makes direct eye contact with him, and holds his gaze and makes him falter, and he can't get back on track, and he kind of says, I need to go. I need to go get some water, and he kind of goes out, and it kind of breaks up the thing, and they try and get in the back, but Redhead, who I think was giving hide her, hissin a blowjob is there, say nope, and she calls Big Goon over, so they can't get in that way. So they go, oh, we'll just circle around the flat back, and they circle, and they come upon a Ruggaroo, um, a creature, something part man, part dog, tufts of fur, heaving kind of chest cavity thing, and they have to run. And they get a text from, I think it's one of the older ladies saying, like, come back, I've got the stuff that you can use to capture the dog. Because Joan says, like, is this Hyson, or whatever the fuck his name is. I'll have to get the name right. But actually, I think it's Victor. It's probably Victor. And then we have an interlude of Victor trapped in these woods, continually running. And it's like, oh, there's light. It's like, that's the west. So he goes to the west. But he just ends up back in the clearing and just cries out because he can't get free. Can't get free, and he wants to get back to Joan. So this seems to be this internal state of what's inside Eugene Wolfe is Victor trying to get out, but he can't. At least that's my thought. All right, that is my check-in of Empire of the Wild by Cherie Demeline. More videos later.